I think that it's interesting that Logan looks an awful lot like the video game The Last of Us. Mainly in terms of how it looks on the surface and in terms of the relationship between Logan and Laura and how it kind of resembles the relationship between Joel and Ellie in The Last of Us. I mean, come on, everyone who played The Last of Us thought the exact same thing I was thinking while watching this movie. Although the biggest similarity that both this movie and that video game had were in the plot. Both Joel and Logan were given the task to transport and care for a girl that they just didn't really want to care for. And while Joel and Ellie were making their way from Boston, Massachusetts to Utah, wherever the fuck they went, Logan and Laura are making their way up towards North Dakota to get to Canada, I guess. And both Logan and Joel were very pessimistic about the possibility of it being there. And near the end, they ended up growing close to that girl that was put into their care. Although there are a number of differences, the inevitable difference, though, was that in this, Logan dies. Joel, however, survived. I'm 100% certain that whoever wrote this was copying almost everything from The Last of Us. But there were more than enough differences that were written into this so that it wasn't a complete carbon copy of The Last of Us. Although the biggest difference in story is that Logan didn't have any zombies in it. When I first started watching, I was wondering, how many boundaries are they going to push with this R rating? Quite a few, actually. I mean, this movie had F-bombs being thrown around left and right. There was a scene where a girl shows her tits to Logan, and there was violence galore. Since Disney owns Marvel, I would think it would be really funny if 20th Century Fox were to eventually come out and say that they made all these R-rated X-Men films just as a big fuck you to Disney. One thing I want to say is that I'm actually very glad Logan was rated R. I say that not because I'm a fan of violence for the sake of violence. I think that at some point they were just saying fuck for the sake of saying fuck, but Logan calmed down near the end in that regard. Logan is actually a very well-written movie. There are a lot of amazing dialogue exchanges, especially the last dialogue exchange Logan had with Laura before the kids left for the forest. Bad things happen to people I care about. Then I'll be fine. Back when I saw this in the theaters, I thought that this would be Hugh Jackman's last performance as Wolverine, and he did amazing. And ever since Deadpool and Wolverine came out, I was glad that we got to see Wolverine and his daughter fight together for at least a small amount of time. I was glad to see them together on screen one more time. Another thing I really enjoyed was how well acted this was. Patrick Stewart, Hugh Jackman, Boyd Holbrook, Stephen Merchant all did excellent in their roles. And Daphne Keane is an amazing young actress. I was very surprised at how much I liked her character. I think little Daphne has a very successful future ahead of her in Hollywood. Godspeed to you, Daphne. I can't wait to see how your career pans out. Now keep this in mind. I was never really a big fan of X-Men movies in general, but I thought Logan was actually really good, especially in comparison to all the X-Men movies that came before this. I didn't like Origins, Wolverine, First Class, any of the first two. I haven't seen Days of Future Past, nor have I seen Apocalypse. I was always a huge Wolverine fan, though, not really a big X-Men fan for some reason. I think that Wolverine's a very cool hero on his own, and the action scenes in this were very exciting to watch. Logan was an absolutely fantastic last movie for Hugh Jackman to end his role as Wolverine with, or so we thought. Logan gets 4 stars out of 5.